Hello, welcome to How to Play D&D, the Explainer podcast with one experienced dungeon master and one failed scriptwriter to discuss D&D topics. My name is Kinsey, and my ridiculously inadequate pod partner, I'm inadequate, I'm done, is Lewis McCaffery.
I love how you carried on.
Really, I should just record it and that be it.
That's true,
but
actually.
It's more fun failing it every time. I don't ever feel bad about myself. You know?
I feel bad about you enough for us both.
Thank you.
It's all good.
Am I ruining our career? Yes, definitely. I
mean,
there's nothing else to that. That's exactly what it is.
No further comment needed.
Exactly. Well, obviously, we've for those who are keen eyes, we are recording some of these in blocks because some of us are going away in a bit, so we're trying to get them out. So obviously, because of that, we've got nothing else new to say. What have you been up to this week?
You know what? Not much. I mean, it is only Monday. I had to think.
Yes.
Then.
We have got D&D tonight, though.
We do have D&D tonight.
Yes.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
Very excited to play.
Yeah, I mean it's the I won't say new DM, but one of your players.
Second time DMing.
Really looking forward to it. First session did a good job. So
really
if you're listening to it, Des, well done.
Yeah, he doesn't listen to it.
No, he doesn't.
Everyone we teach in person doesn't listen to the podcast. And really, if that doesn't give you an insight as to why you shouldn't be listening to the podcast, then thank you for being ignorant. Thank you very much. We appreciate your support.
Your ignorance is our reward.
It really is. Are we getting paid? No. But do we feel loved? No. No. Yeah. Okay. Do you know what class we're covering today?
You've mentioned love, so I'm gonna say it's
Go on.
Cleric.
Say something you're not allowed to say on the app. It's not cleric.
It's
druids. Whoa, okay.
What's with the whoa? Like
I was about to go into
about to say, like you didn't expect that.
Okay, so today's episode is on Druids, and surprisingly talking about love, this is what I've got down for Druids, everybody's favourite gateway to bestiality.
That is love.
And everyone's fine with it, and they shouldn't be. Anyway, Lewis, I'm fostering goats at my local farm. How long do I have to wait until I start producing milk like my children? What am I doing?
I don't know.
Nobody is safe.
No one is safe.
Not even your goats.
At this point, you're probably getting arrested for some kind of animal.
The thing is, I'm writing these on the fly, and it's just like it doesn't bode well.
You know how you can tell you've written this one on the fly? You didn't say let's get to it.
Shit.
Horrible. But yeah, you probably get arrested for some weird fucking shit that you're doing with these goats, man. I don't know.
Let's get to it. Lewis, can you summarise the type of class a druid is?
A druid is another half-caster where I believe so anyway, they can cast a lot of spells. It's not their main kind of thing. They don't have to. They can run in with a big stick if they want.
I think this one is, druids, I've only played it once and not much, is a lot of people I've DM'd for or played alongside, they just all play the same druid class. And so it's usually around wild shaping, right?
Yes.
But I do think there are actually a lot of spellcasting subclasses, and of the classes, this one, like clerics that we'll get to down the line, really rely on subclasses to focus on what you can and can't do. One could just be very animal focused, one could be very much...
There is a lot of versatility with druids,
I think that's why we've not seen much spellcasting.
No, exactly. I think depending on... You could act as like a kind of... You could be a full caster with a druid, depending on which circle, which is your subclass you go for.
Yeah.
But doesn't have to be, because, like you said, druids typically are around wild shaping and transforming into animals, which technically isn't a spell. It's just their ability, isn't it?
So, their bonus action.
But yeah, that's how I'd summarise it. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. What die does a player roll when leveling their druid?
Do you want to guess?
It can't be a D8 again. It can't be a D8 again.
So
There's got to be a D10.
A D10?
I'm going D10.
No, you are wrong. It's a D8.
For fuck's sake.
Another D8.
I don't know why I care, but I do. I care for everyone who wants to fuck a bear. Don't say I don't. Don't say I don't, because I do.
Is this because no one would let you fuck a bear when you were younger? You asked Santa for
I tried.
a good time, and he just like nothing.
I was willing to risk it all.
Fair enough.
The bear wasn't.
At the tender age of 7.
Yeah, he was. He said I was too young.
That's the issue with fucking a bear. Yeah.
What are the main stats a player should focus on when creating a druid?
Dexterity and wisdom are those. So wisdom for druids is your spellcasting modifier. It's what you're going to be using whenever you make a spell attack, or if someone needs to make a saving throw against your spell, then against your spell save DC, that's what I'm thinking of, it'll go off your wisdom. And the second one is similar to most classes, I'd say dexterity. For the AC buff, if you do want to be a bit martial, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with going constitution or strength, those kind of things, but for me, I'd say wisdom and dex will be 2 main ones.
That's your kind of foundational build you'd recommend. Okay, and just to answer that, if I fucked a bear, where I was 7 or an adult, I think people would be confused. I think people will think I'm brave. I think there's definitely a Marmite situation here. Like, people are going to go...
They'll love it higher.
Like, Peter are going to come after me, right, for sexually harassing animals.
Yeah.
But I did fuck a bear. And that is an impressive feat.
Yeah. And
whether I agree with it or not.
And you've never even... He's not talking about Baldur's Gate either. He's just talking about the bear that's trapped downstairs. But the thing is, you did say one thing I think is factually incorrect. I don't think anyone would be surprised if you fucked a bear.
Yeah, you know what, fair enough. What makes the Druid class such a great class to play?
So, I think, again, Druids, the way I see them, are again a bit of a support class.
Yeah.
But can be a bit more of a, I'd say tank, not damage dealer necessarily, but I'd say in 5e anyway, with the ability to transform into a bear, for example, with between 60 and 80 hit points, whatever it is, and then transform back when you're finished, things like that, it can be almost like a shield for you and your party.
It can really turn the tide in combat.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot it can do.
The spells as well that druids have access to, even like heat metal, they've got the gust of wind. I'd say druids are very good at like controlling battlefields if played right.
I mean, regardless of subclass, like all druids are kind of good at being one with the earth, you know, the land, the sea, all of kind of Mother Nature. So it makes complete sense that their support spells, or their spells in general, focus around those elements and how they can kind of control it in your favour.
Yeah, like plant growth, for example.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the good things about druids as well, is one of their unique parts of their character details, let's say, that will massively affect roleplay, I'd say, is the fact that druids will not wear metal armour.
Right.
And it's completely reasonable with druids, like you said, being one with the earth and nature and things like that. They won't wear metal armour, probably because it's unnatural, that kind of thing. But I like that, because if you get a druid, and we've encountered them that are wankers, and they purposely go out their way to like, I'm going to make it so nothing can hit me and wear plate armour as a druid. No, you're not. It's always fun. Always fun to take their wild shape away if they do that, and it's like, well.
He's monster. He's a monster. What have we created?
Which they are not anymore.
What have we created? Okay, could you name 3 feats you'd personally take when building a druid?
So, surprisingly, I've not gone for Warcaster.
Oh, I literally thought you were going to say surprisingly Warcaster.
No. So, first one, I'd say telepathic. And the reason being, I think it might be changing in 1D&D, but in 5e, obviously, if you transform into a bear and no one else has, like, speak with animals or something, you can't communicate with them unless you're going to, like in one of the one-shots I ran, put stones on the ground to try and mean random stuff.
A bit of a puzzle that they literally couldn't communicate about.
Yeah. But what telepathic does, it allows you to speak telepathically with anyone within 60 feet. They can't respond, but they can understand you. Yeah. And it also gives you the detect thoughts spell, which you can cast once a day without using a spell slot. Okay.
And in the new player's handbook that comes out this week of September 17th onwards, something 16th. Like that, there will be. You can communicate in your wild shape, but in regular 5e, which arguably most people will be playing for a long time still, that's not the case. So it's important. If that's a really important integral choice as to why you'd play the druid, then there you go.
Exactly, and there's nothing, like I said, nothing more or can be more frustrating than when you try and do a puzzle. You're in a wild shape and no one has any idea what you've figured it out.
What's your second feat?
Second one would be mobile. Okay. One, because it gives you an extra 10 feet of movement, which if you are acting, like I said, as like a shield to the party, as a bear or a wolf or something, then that'll be very helpful. When you dash with the mobile feat, you're unaffected by difficult terrain, and if you attack someone and then run away, you don't provoke attacks for opportunity, which again, they're all just kind of, I think, ways to control a battlefield, which, like I said, I think Druids are great.
I think this is a good set of feats. Like, I don't know what the third one is yet, but like it's nice that it's not just so I can not lose at this.
Exactly. It's
ways and a lot of them are that.
Yeah, I think they're just ways to make the most out of the class, which Druid does do well. It has a lot of opportunities for that. And the third one, I've gone for a little bit different than any others I've picked so far. I've gone for Gift of the Gem Dragon.
Oh, okay.
Not only does it give you a +1 to either intelligence or wisdom, which obviously +1 to wisdom's insane for Druids, but you can also use your reaction when an enemy hits you to shove them back 10 feet if they fail a strength save, and when they do, they take 2d8 damage. So again, just ways to control it a bit more.
I mean, if you had that as your first feat at a lower level, you could be killing creatures with that as a reaction.
Just as reactions, It's insane. And imagine being a massive bear that can sprint an extra 10 feet, speak into your mind, telling you it's going to fuck you up, and then when you go to hit it, it's like, not today, and just backhand you out the way.
You make it sound like a threat rather than a good time. That's what I'm saying.
That's what the bear is going to do to you.
They're the feats I'm taking to find that fucking bear.
That's beautiful.
Right. Yeah, go on, ask your question.
Thank you.
I hate the interruption.
I'm just going to go silent about it next time and then wait until you do it. Anyway, can you think of someone who might be a druid in pop culture, movies, TV, that kind of thing?
I reckon everyone who experienced Woodstock would be a druid.
Okay.
Not necessarily the hippie vibe, but the kind of... the hippie vibe. Okay. Just like that kind of like being around people, really trying to find your inner self. Being one with nature and against the establishment in this sense. For druids, it's like anything kind of man-made except weapons, because they still want the weapons, and they pick and choose what they want. I think anything like that, I reckon those kind of people, maybe Stevie Nicks would be a druid.
She's
not a witch, she's a druid.
I get what you mean. All people like that will just be. What about Groot? I'd say Groot would be a druid. Groot.
Would he be a druid?
He'd either be a druid or the club that a druid uses.
Yeah, he would be the shillelagh.
Yeah, he would. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, so you go with Groot?
I'd go with Groot or any kind of werewolf in movies and TVs and stuff, because they can shape.
I didn't think of werewolves, actually. I didn't think of, like, evilly...
I immediately thought of Jacob from Twilight, because that's where my head's at.
We heard it here first. We've got a cuck on the show. Okay, well, today's adventure is sadly coming to a close, but we're back again next week with the topic, are paintings impressionable? And if they're not, why is there an entire category for them then?
I don't know. Maybe in art galleries it shouldn't be paintings, it should just be people hung up there.
It should, yeah. And the painting should be looking at them.
Yeah.
And judging. And as always, thank you for tuning in, and if you like joining on the D&D action, then please follow us on Instagram and TikTok at HowToPlayD&D, or check out the link in our bio to join our Discord server. And for BTS for sessions, bloopers, blogs, early access to episodes, and even live Q&As of Lewis doing this, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/howtoplaydnd. I've been Connor Kinsey.
I've been Lewis McCaffery.
Good day.
Goodbye.